close to the game as you can get. Major League Baseball, now airing on Orbit ESPN. They are champions made in France, exported all over the world. But they all started in the same place, the French League, now airing on Al Riyadiyah.
This October on Cinema City, be prepared for nights of dark passions.
Good men have been known to kill.
Tuesdays are nights of mystery.
And what if something did happen to him?
4 classic whodunits keep you guessing until the end. On Wednesday nights, forbidden love means cruel love with 4 difficult romances.
You ever went out with a white guy before?
On Fridays, women beware. 5 films about lady killers. Thursday nights, though, join our parade of stars with Glenn Close, John Malkovich, Michelle Pfeiffer, Jude Law, Bill Murray, Gina Davis, Richard Gere, and Gene Hackman. Be ready for strong emotions in October on Cinema City.
At Network Associates Coliseum in Oakland, the Raiders 23, the Buccaneers 6.
John Gruden trying to get some input from Brad Johnson. And then, saying, all right, look, we'll try and get some more time for you.
Vargas gets the carry. Comes out of the pack and gets some yardage on his own. Dwight Smith on the stop. Let's go down to Susie Colbert.
Well, Pat, can you imagine what this is doing to John Gruden? After they won the Super Bowl, he wrote a book. It was called Do You Love Football? And in it, there was a line that he said he lives and dies with every game. I asked him, well, you've lost 8 out of the last 11. How are you doing? He said, I'm dying. This is ripping my guts out. Can you imagine a John Gruden offense, the only one in the NFL that hasn't scored a touchdown?
Hard to imagine. Vargas.
And the Raiders are doing exactly what they need to do, and that's just control the football and go right up the middle.
What I've been surprised by is Tampa Bay's the poor tackling. We saw Jermaine Phillips miss one on Tyrone Wheatley's big run. Now we saw Justin Vargas on the play before that break a couple of tackles. Very uncharacteristic of Tampa Bay defense.
That's their reputation as being a good, outstanding, maybe the best tackling team in the NFL. Not so tonight.
They've been on the field, too. And if you get them into the 4th quarter, they get tired.
You get tired of somebody running over you all night, too.
Here's Collins back to throw. Gets the screen pass up to J.R. Redmond. And Redmond crosses into Buccaneer territory.
I like the way Jimmy Ray, the offensive coordinator, and Norv Turner, the head coach of the Raiders, is calling this game. All right, you want to come after us? Fine. We'll just dump a little screen off and back you off.
I'll tell you what's really surprising. Derek Brooks, number 55, reads the screen and he gets out there. But I want to tell you what. Watch what happens after he misses the play here. He gets blocked. Look how long it takes for the rest of the white shirts to get there. That's something you just never have seen before in Tampa Bay.
It's a new defense. I think that's something people don't understand. There are new elements. Brian Kelly missed a year ago. Jermaine Phillips is new at safety.
Collins. Alvis Swithin. 18-yard pickup wide open in the middle.
You just have a feeling that every time they run a play action, he can throw it anywhere he wants.
And Kerry Collins has been able to go out and throw the ball where he wants. Terrific time. Sets in the pocket, plants, fires the ball out wherever he needs to. Whether it's out to the right or whether it's crossing patterns with great catches in the middle or whether it's getting the ball real quick out of his hands and creating opportunities for receivers to run with the football. He's doing everything he needs to do, but as long as he's working away from that line of scrimmage and his receivers are stretching those zones, they're gigantic holes to throw into.
Collins again. Diving effort
What a catch.
By Porter.
You know what? Brian Kelly has got to be talking to himself. This guy has played some tremendous coverage tonight, and that ball has been thrown on target by Kerry Collins. Take a look at this. Here's Kelly. Look at where he is. Here comes the ball. He hears the sight. This is just a great catch.
What a catch.
And Jerry Porter doesn't push off, manages to catch the ball, stays in bounds. I mean, it's just phenomenal.
They're going to challenge this because he actually lands out of bounds, but his knee was down inbounds.
Well, then he didn't land out of bounds.
That's right. Top part of his body was out of bounds. And remember, you also have to have control of the ball when you come down.
Tampa Bay is challenging the ruling on the field of a completed pass.
Good. We haven't had a chance to talk about one.
All right, here's the catch by Porter. Now, that's Kelly's foot out of bounds.
Is it?
Porter's knee is down.
His elbow's down. His shoulder's down. I mean, his left knee, his left elbow, and his left shoulder all hit the ground.
And he has control of the football.
Yeah,
Porter's foot might have been out of bounds.
Yeah, not before that left knee hits. The left knee hits, the hip hits, the shoulder hits, the head hits, and then he slides out of
I
bounds.
still think his left foot might have been out of bounds.
Where, Pat?
Before that.
Oh, before. Okay.
The one knee is equal to 2 feet.
And a hip is equal to 2 feet.
Yep.
And an arm is equal to whatever it is.
Shoulder,
equal to.
elbow. I think this is a good challenge because, again, this was on the Tampa Bay side. So, and it's in a very critical position in the game. I mean, they go down 30-3 without anybody to stretch the field, and you're not going to come back.
And the other reason it's a good challenge, you're going to give your defense a rest because these guys need one. They've been out there a long, long time.
That's a very good point.
Watch it again. Jerry Porter reaches inside. His left knee hits the ground. His left elbow hits the ground. He has control of the ball, which is what the officials look at. And this would be hard-pressed to be overturned. Irrefutable evidence. I'm just impressed with the fact that he doesn't push Brian Kelly, but can reach around.
After reviewing the play, the Oakland receiver possessed the ball, came to the ground with his knee inbounds. It is a completed pass.
There's a timeout gone.
Tampa Bay will be charged with their first timeout.
Jerry Porter's had himself quite an evening in his starting debut this year, putting up some big numbers. Great catches, great efforts.
Since Kerry Collins came in with 3 minutes to go in the first quarter, he is 16 out of 25 for 228 yards and a touchdown.
We said
since he came in.
He wanted to come to this offense because they were an offensive team that put the ball down the field. And you think of the young receivers. I mean, Jerry Porter, besides Jerry Rice's 20 years, Jerry Porter's the oldest receiver with 5.
They're at the 5. Wheatley to about the 2.5.
They're just, you know, I hate to say it, you're in the third quarter, getting inside 4.5 minutes to go. But this is a tired defense. These guys have been on the field for a long, long time.
And those big guys have been leaning on it.
Yeah, they have. You know, you got what? You got over 1,600 pounds leaning on you.
Now, the other thing is Simeon Rice is at his best when he's able to rush the passer. As long as Oakland keeps running like this, he can't.
Fakes to Wheatley. Almost intercepted in the end zone by Jermaine Phillips.
Would that have been huge?
Would have been.
Well, Courtney Anderson, number 83, is I think the guy that goes back and breaks it up. Take a look at this throw. Here's a throw Collins should not have made. But number 83 is Courtney Anderson as the tight end. I believe that's him here. Look at this guy. He helps out. Oh, man. That was a ball that Phillips should have had.
So it's 3rd and goal. The scamper outside. Nothing doing to zero A. But a flag on the play. He lost a yard. Flag on the play, maybe a face mask, huh?
Boy, if this is a face mask, I mean, you know, Jermaine Phillips was there, number 23, but if this is a face mask, man, is this deadly.
There's a face.
There's a face mask. That ain't a mask. That's his face.
What's the penalty? You're not going to like it, John, I don't think.
Personal foul, grabbing the face mask, defense number 23. The ball will be placed half the distance to the goal. Automatic first down.
Jermaine Phillips, number 23, is the guy that's going to reach in. Now, there was no place for zero way to go. I mean, he was stopped. They had the people to the outside, and I was really surprised to see him try to run wide on this football team down here with the great speed that Tampa Bay has. But, man, that's a killer.
I promise you.
On first and goal, Warren Saps on the offensive unit.
Now, this could be a good time for a little play action to get Warren an opportunity against his old team. Or do you just give it to Tyrone Wheatley and let him pound it in? What do you think, Paul?
Pound, 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 pound.
Play action.
Wheatley. Standing up. "15 carries, 99 yards for Wheatley, and a touchdown."
Well, North told us the guy that can average, well, there's excessive celebration because there's flags all over the end zone. And North said any guy that can average 5 yards a carry stays in place. But they played everybody.
Unsportsmanlike conduct, unnecessary celebration at the end of the play against the offense. This penalty will be assessed 15 yards on the kickoff. The play stands as a touchdown.
You know, that may not hurt you in a game like this, but it'll definitely hurt you in a game down the road when it's a lot closer.
Ron Stone, the right guard, is getting in on it. You didn't carry it in, Ron.
Janikowski for the extra point. Good again. The Raiders starting to put it away. 30-3. 30-6, I'm sorry.
من قلب بيروت تأتينا وإلى روح بيروت تجلبنا. إنها مجموعة خياطة رفيعة لخريف وشتاء 2004-2005 للمصممة نوال سراي الدين. تعرفوا عليها ضمن برنامج أناقة الجمعة في الأوقات التالية على قناة اليوم.
حصرا بريمي ابتسم وأكشن.
إنه كان وقت الانطلاق لأشهر الكوميديين الأمريكيين من جون بلوشي إلى ستيف مارتن ومايك مايرز إلى بيل موري. من النجوم الكبار لم يظهر فيه من حين لآخر. The Best Saturday Night Live أربعاء 9 مساء الرياض على سوبر كوميدي. إنها عقل الكوميديا بالعقل.
There's a weekly date you can't miss to focus on politics through the opinions of experts and prestigious journalists. Join Tim Russert on Meet the Press, George Stephanopoulos on ABC This Week, and Bob Schieffer on Face the Nation for a comprehensive, in-depth analysis of the hottest issues on current affairs. Political shows every Sunday starting at 5:30 p.m. Riyadh time only on Orbit News.
The Raiders over the Buccaneers. 3:42 left to play in the third quarter.
I'll tell you what's sick as a quarterback. You go back and you stand there on the sidelines, you're getting ready to get the ball back, and you look around and you think, well, who am I going to give it to? I mean, who am I going to give it to?
Janikowski kicks off from the 15. Good kick. Corey Cox on the return. Let's go quickly to Chris Berman.
All right, Pat, thank you very much. In Miami, the Dolphins gambling in the muck and the mire on 4th and short. A.J. Feely stacked up by the Steeler defense that enabled a short drive, and Jeff Reed's 50-yard field goal to be good. Just beginning the fourth quarter, 6-0 Steelers in Miami. Meanwhile, it's over. The Angels have beaten the A's 6-2. They trail Oakland by 1. Texas trails by 2 in the AL West with just a week to go. Pat?
On first down. Willis.
You know, it's when you think about the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, you've got a football team who's depleted in the running game as far as Tampa goes. I mean, does Ricky Williams become an option for anybody in the National Football League? I personally don't think so, because he's going to have to sit out for a suspension. But if you're a coach, you might be looking for somebody to come in and help you. Certainly, we know he's a great runner.
Well, but they're not looking for someone to help him next year. They're looking for someone to help him now. They don't have anybody.
Well, they'll get Michael Pittman back next week, but I don't know if that's going to be enough.
Johnson deep, incomplete.
Coverage by Charles Vincent. Pressure on the quarterback by Travian Smith.
You know, it really is frightening to take a look at it. And we're not sitting here belaboring the point, but if you look at the Bucs offense right now, and that list that Susie had at the beginning of this football game.
Holding offense number 76. 10-yard penalty will repeat second down.
I think the other...
But you look at all those people, excuse me, that you list, those are all people that put points on the board for you. He doesn't have anybody in there that can score, really.
Probably the biggest one that's missing with the most catches last year is Keenan McCardell. And I want to tell you, I don't think the Bucs are going to change their stance on his situation no matter what happens on their offense.
Johnson to throw it. Outside quickly to Ken Dilger.
I like what Rob Ryan, the defensive coordinator of the Raiders, has done. He doesn't care what the score is. He's either going to max, and this is what Ray Buchanan told us, the safety of the Raiders. Rob Ryan's either going to max come after you, that means with 6 or more people, or he's going to max drop back and cover with 8. There's a guy.
Yeah, you don't have to max drop back and cover with 8. Because you don't have 8. I mean, people can get out.
His dad came after us with a lot of people. Old buddy Ryan.
Yes, he did. Johnson with pretty good protection this time, and he hits Bill Schrader. And that'll be a Buccaneer first down, 12-yard pickup.
And you just take a look at the last couple of plays. Now, for Brad Johnson. Short passes, and the Raiders are going to give them to you. The only thing that he cannot do is throw one of those short deals off of play action back to the outside again when you have tight ends running down the field and you have corners covering them, because they're going to pick it off again.
You're basically forcing them to throw the ball in the middle of the football field, keep the clock running, and I don't think they can afford to drop 1 or 2, because then you get in 3rd and long, and here comes the pressure.
Johnson's 10 out of 19. It seems like he's thrown it a lot more than that. Short pass to Allstott. Couple.
That's a 1-yard gain.
Napoleon Harris made the tackle.
But you know, if you just stand behind Brad Johnson, Joe, and you look at when he goes back to pass, first of all, he knows he doesn't have a whole lot of time. And then he doesn't have anybody really downfield.
But it's also a credit to him as a pro. He understands he's fighting something here, but he's finding people.
Allstott wide left. Lowers the shoulder. Crosses to about the 44-yard line.
He is stumbling. He was stumbling.
See, if you spin forward and you think about the Tampa Bay Buccaneers for the next week and the week after that, it doesn't get any easier for them, because they still are stuck in the same type of an offense that relies on 8, 9, 10, 11 play drives to try and put points on. And, you know, Timmy Brown has really been shut out. He's been non-existent in this game. He's in the slot right now.
Johnson back. A throwback, incomplete. It was a little high, intended for Jameel White. And they'll have to punt.
Talked about Brad Johnson having a tough evening. Nobody really to throw the football to, but it's not even just tonight. 23 drives, 9 points, 3 turnovers.
Well, we've got 6 seconds there, another quarter, Joe, without a touchdown.
Pat, you said, how about 10, wasn't it, 11?
Right.
You were bidding there before?
Yep.
Well, you can bid on 12.
I think now, really, they might think about a quarterback change. Flag on the play as Bidwell gets the punt off. Fair catch. Philip Buchanan, 33-yard kick.
I think Torrey Cox left a little early. Oh, they got offside on a defense.
34-yard punt prior to the penalty. That's going to be close to a first.
Warren, I think, wants his teammates to back up a little bit. Don't you? Yeah. If you're a lip reader, you know that he's vehement about the fact that they ought to back up.
Offside, defense number 27. The wants us to measure it to see if it will be a first down.
I think you have to go for it whether or not it's a first down. And
I agree.
Joe Avezzano is the new special teams coach of the Raiders. Of course, 3-time special teams coach of the year with the Dallas Cowboys. There he is with the silver hair in the middle. And actually, with the change in philosophy on defense for the Raiders, it's helped his special teams out. They went to a 3-4, which means you add another defensive back and 1 or 2 more linebackers. So they get younger, they get quicker, and they'll have a better cover unit.
Talking to Joe at practice day before yesterday, and he likes it here. He has enjoyed the association with Al Davis and with the organization. He likes it.
Now this is interesting because don't you have to mark off the penalty and then?
No, they would like to measure with the chain out there and then see if it's going to be enough for the first down. You want it as accurate as possible, Paul.
Well, I like to see, because he may have one giant step.
Your eyes are accurate.
Give him a first down.
What do you think, Paul? Is it going to be a first down?
Joe.
Yes.
No.
I mean, they're going to miss it by a little bit, but I don't, you know. Look at John saying, now, how did you do that?
Well, now the quarter can't end on a defensive play. So we'll have an untimed down now.
Defensive penalty.
That is the end of the third quarter. We'll start the next quarter with 4th down and
well,
inches.
I beg your pardon. It can end on a defensive penalty. Didn't know that. I'm corrected.
أهلا بكم في عالم يتحول فيه الطلاب إلى أساتذة، في عالم حيث التفوق والازدهار ليس بمجرد كلمات، في عالم تنطلق منه النجوم لتتألق في السماء. أهلا بكم في عالم كرة القدم الأمريكية للجامعات على أوربت ESPN.
Have you tried TV Max? Now it's even easier to order the latest releases. Whether you're at home, at work, or just relaxing, visit the Orbit website at www.orbit.net. Go to the TV Max homepage and order online. TV Max, your home movie theater.
خدمات أوربت الجديدة على الإنترنت تضع تكنولوجيتها المتقدمة في خدمتكم. إنها سهلة، سريعة، آمنة ومتوفرة 24 ساعة في اليوم. بمجرد دخولك موقع أوربت على الإنترنت يمكنك الآن طلب فيلم من خدمة تي في ماكس، تجديد اشتراككم في أوربت، الدفع بواسطة بطاقة الاعتماد والحصول على معلومات عن قنوات أوربت وجداولها وعلى عروض الاشتراك الخاصة، تقديم استفسارات وطلب الرد على المكالمة والكثير غير ذلك. خدمات أوربت على الإنترنت، تكنولوجيا متطورة في خدمتكم بمجرد كبسة زر.
start the fourth quarter. The Raiders leading it 30-6. The Buccaneers have the ball 4th and inches. And they're going to go for it.
And this is on the dirt where offensive linemen have a real problem getting any kind of traction.
Would you think Allstott is lined up deep?
I would.
Oh, I would.
I don't know if that offensive line is going to be able to generate enough push.
We would think quarterback sneak. And he got it. Let's go down again to Susie Colbert.
Well, Pat, the rematch of Super Bowl 37, a whole new ball game. Only thing the same, bad night for Rich Gannon. Early on, knocked out of the game. X-rays on his back are negative. Kerry Collins comes in and moves the offense. 16 of 26 for 228 yards. Mixing it up, Jerry Porter with big catches and Tyrone Wheatley 99 yards and a touchdown. Looks like North Turner has his back. And the Raiders defense pitching a shutout against the Bucs offense. An interception for a touchdown. 2 sacks. They've allowed just 45 rushing yards. And Warren Sapp is looking pretty good in silver and black, isn't he?
Yeah, Suze. He's smiling a lot. I know that.
Yeah, he is. He's a happy camper.
I know if he was in pewter, he wouldn't be smiling.
Just barely got that first down. Here's Johnson back to throw it. Pass complete.
Tim Brown with the catch.
That's his first, isn't it?
I want Tim to get his 100th touchdown.
Well, Brad Johnson has thrown Warren Sapp his first touchdown.
Yep.
We've seen Chris Carter catch his 100th touchdown as well as his 1,000th catch here on ESPN. It's the network of milestones.
That's right.
Second down. They get to Allstott. Mike rumbles for a first.
But I got to believe that they're going to put an awful lot of coverage on Tim Brown the closer they get to that end zone so he doesn't get that 100 touchdown here.
Most career receiving touchdowns in NFL history. Jerry Rice, 194. And you see Tim Brown there tied with Don Hudson, one of the all-time greats of the game.
That's a record that's not going to be broken. Here's Johnson outside, caught, and out of bounds. Tim Brown. Ken Dilger, beg your pardon. No, it was Brown.
I tell you, I'm serious. You got to watch the coverage now down towards this end zone because you got to believe that the Oakland Raiders are aware, and obviously that he's got, he can catch his 100th touchdown pass, and they're not going to want it to happen here.
But the Raiders have played in the secondary really with 4 corners. They played with Charles Woodson and Philip Buchanan, their regular corners. They brought in Denard Walker, who's the backup corner, and Ray Buchanan, who's playing safety, has spent most of his career as a corner in this league.
Johnson whips it out to Allstott. Not much doing. Let's go to Chris Berman for an update.
All right, Pat, thank you. In Miami, A.J. Feely, not much touchy. Then again, it's a hard night to pass. Incomplete, and that at least allowed Miami to get on the board. Olindo Moreeeee, 34-yard field goal. It's 6-3. Pittsburgh under 12 minutes left. Pat?
That's a real Cliff Dweller.
Oh, boy.
Well, that weather, it's unbelievable. Those guys have gone out and played in those conditions, and those poor people in Florida having to deal with all that again.
Johnson, the pressure is coming wide open. Jameel Cook moves it down for a first down.
I tell you, Charles Woodson saved the touchdown. Jameel Cook was flying. I mean, that ball came out to the outside. He just slipped out of the backfield, and Brad Johnson hit
illegal
it
tip.
right.
Offense. The man in motion did not reset as the back was going down. 5-yard penalty. Repeat, third down.
When things are going badly, they stay going badly.
The Colts in 97 and the Steelers in 90 did not score an offensive touchdown the first 3 games. Of course, going back a few years ago, you had the Baltimore Ravens who went 5 straight games in the middle of the season and did not score an offensive touchdown.
3rd and 8. Play clock down to 6. Johnson complete. Tim Brown.
Now the offensive line, they're really giving Johnson some protection. Enough time so he can find Tim Brown. Watch this, outside. Little pivot back to the inside. He's wide open. But Johnson had enough time to throw the ball.
That's the key. 1st and 10. Longest active streak in the NFL in which you've caught a pass. Rice's came to an end last week. Raiders are saying somebody moved. Flag does go down. A lot of pointing.
False start. Offense, number 76. 5-yard penalty. Remains first down.
That's the center.
That is number 1 on John Gruden's list of frosting or really ticking them off, is when somebody jumps off sides or moves.
And it's the center.
I mean,
they changed it.
Oh, they did change it?
Stussy, yeah.
It doesn't matter.
Let's move it down.
He's still not a happy camper.
What does he have?
You're right. It doesn't matter who it's on.
What does he have to be happy about? Sneaking up to blitz. Johnson. In the end zone, touchdown. Tim Brown, and that's number 100.
I just can't believe that he ran that free down the middle of the field.
I just think that they did not put a lot of pressure on Brad Johnson. They gave him a chance, and the last 4 balls were thrown to Tim Brown, and what an appreciative group of people here in Oakland.
They're on their feet, applauding Tim Brown in another uniform. 16 years he wore the silver and black.
The 16 years he gave him his heart.
Yes,
and they appreciate it. They're going to go for 2.
Probably never play here again. There he is, up the middle. Good move. Terrific move up the middle on Philip Buchanan.
100 touchdowns. That breaks that tie with Don Hudson that Joe was talking about a minute ago. For 2.
Flag down. Flag down.
David Moore, the target, but a flag on the play. 13 play drive by Brad Johnson, the Buccaneers,
Pass
62
interference.
yards.
Offense, number 85. This penalty is declined, and the result of the play was a missed extra point.
30-12. And that's the way it'll stay. Let's go down to Susie again.
Well, regarding Tim Brown, he's a man of strong faith. He doesn't ask for signs, but regarding his 100th career touchdown catch, he felt he had gotten them. Mr. Raider, a fan favorite here, he had a feeling he was going to get 100 right here. And really, if you consider it, this is his home turf. He said his buddy Chris Carter caught number 100 on Sunday Night Football, and Brad Johnson was the quarterback. There were just too many things that pointed to Brown getting 100 right here. He also said it might be the first time he ever cries after making a touchdown catch.
I was just very impressed, Susie, with the ovation that this crowd gave him. I think a lot of people wanted to see it happen tonight. And I give John Gruden a lot of credit, too, for calling plays to give him an opportunity at this juncture of the game to get in the end zone.
And that was really surprising to see him run down. Buchanan was on him, was supposed to be on him, but run that free down the middle of the field, especially at that area when they know they're going to try to get him his 100th touchdown.
I remember earlier in the game, Bill Schrader took off down the middle of the field, too. And, of course, Al Davis, the man who had him here, is disappointed. He's disappointed that a touchdown was scored. He could care less about records.
And just remember something. That's their first touchdown for Tampa Bay in 12 quarters of this season.
Brown,
offensive one, right?
Offensive touchdown.
Brown caught 4 passes for 41 yards, all in that drive, including touchdown number 100. 81.
Yeah, Chucky's telling him, you know, I think Tim went over and said thanks. You know, John Gruden appreciates great players in this game, and he certainly has brought one. He had him here in Oakland, and he brought him home to him to Tampa.
relaxing kickoff by Doug Gabriel. Flag on the play as a little exuberance. Doug Gabriel was knocked out of bounds by Rondé Barber.
Rondé pushed him just a little bit longer than he than the officials allow you to.
Do you think John will be ticked off at this one?
Not as bad as the fall. I was funny. I agree with you though, but the false starts are the ones that really get him. This one here was just a frustrated bit of aggression.
Well, they actually both had their hands in each other's face.
Personal foul, unnecessary roughness, number 20 on the kicking team. 15-yard penalty, first down.
Congratulations to number 81, Tim Brown. He's been a credit to the game.
منافسات الدوري السعودي في بث مباشر على الرياضية. الأربعاء موعدكم ومباراة مثيرة بين الشباب العازم على الفوز للاحتفاظ بالقمة والقادسية الذي ذاق أخيرا طعم الانتصار. ثم الخميس تتواصل المنافسة مع لقاء النصر والوحدة. هل يتجاوز النصراويون كبوة الهزيمة الأخيرة أم يلحق الوحداويون بمنافسهم هزيمة أخرى؟ تابعوا الدوري السعودي الممتاز على الرياضية.
الثلاثاء. هل يمكن أن تكون هذه علامة؟
I was supposed to get married today, see, but she had to go and get hit by a bus. Don't say it that way.
هذا ما تظنه إلينا.
Excuse me, but I do have a life. Wait.
ولكن والديها غير متأكدين من ذلك.
Shut up! We have a funeral to go to, huh?
انضموا إلى إلينا باتيستا التي تحاول تحسين حياتها في تشاو بيلا كل ثلاثاء في 10 مساء بتوقيت الرياض على السوبر كوميدي.
ESPN Sunday Night Football, brought to you by Mazda, always the soul of a sports car. Spider, listed on the American Stock Exchange. The United States Marine Corps, the few, the proud, the Marines. And UPS, global shipping you can count on. UPS, what can Brown do for you?
Back at Network Associates Coliseum, the Raiders 30, the Buccaneers 12. A record 100 touchdown catches for that man, Tim Brown.
And I'll tell you what a credit to this game of football.
And it happened here where he spent so many years, 16 years too.
Zero away. Down the sideline and out of bounds by Rondé Barber. 17-yard pickup. Derek Brooks, who is, again, wired tonight. Talk about great players. Tim Brown, of course, is. So is Derek Brooks. Sometimes I think we use that word great too often. But I don't feel badly about those two.
Not at all.
Collins back to throw. Pass is intercepted.
That's Brian Kelly.
Kelly.
He could have had 5. He only gets 1.
Well, what a game he's played. Brian Kelly has stayed all over Jerry Porter. Jerry Porter has had his share, but finally Brian Kelly gets a chance to get his turn.
يسر شبكة أوربت أن تعلن عن تحديث أجهزة استقبالها الحالية من ماركة هيوماكس وفيليبس بإدخال تكنولوجيا جديدة تماما لتمنح المشاهد مقدرة أكبر على التحكم بما يود مشاهدته. يتم التحديث تلقائيا عندما يكون الجهاز في وضعية ستاند باي، ومتى تم التحديث ستظهر رسالة ترحيب على الشاشة. لمشاهدة قنوات أوربت اضغط زر أوكي في جهاز التحكم 3 مرات لكي يتم التقاط جميع قنوات أوربت خلال ثوان. ولكي تلتقط قنوات أرابسات المفتوحة اتبع الخطوات التالية. اضغط زر منيو في جهاز التحكم، ثم اضغط السهم الأيسر واختر Settings. باستخدام السهم الأسفل انتقل إلى Channel Acquisition، ثم إلى Scan Satellites واختر Single LNB Scan وثم Arabsat، وبواسطة السهم الأسفل اختر Start Scan. وتذكر أن تؤكد كل خطوة بالضغط على زر أوكي. متى انتهت عملية المسح تظهر عبارة Complete على يسار الشاشة. اضغط زر أوكي لحفظ القنوات، ثم زر الخروج Escape لمشاهدة قنوات أوربت أرابسات. للمزيد من المعلومات الرجاء زيارة موقع أوربت على الإنترنت www.orbit.net أو شاهدوا القناة رقم 18. أما بالنسبة لأجهزة ساجن فيرجى مراقبة خدمة صندوق بريد أوربت على الجهاز، حيث سترسل لك تعليمات إضافية بواسطته.
to 12, Buccaneers trailing the Raiders. Tampa Bay has the ball. And Brad Johnson remains the quarterback. No change. He's going to take off himself. Pick up about 7 or 8. Let's again go down to Susie.
Well, let's check in on Norv Turner's coaching resume. Began his career under John Robinson and the Rams. Jimmy Johnson in Dallas. Says he knows how to do things good coaches do, and he sees his road to the Raiders as a continuation of his head coaching stint in Washington. There for 7 years, he learned that you got to get guys who complement you, know your weaknesses, and then add their strengths. Jimmy Ray, the offensive coordinator, Rob Ryan, the defensive coordinator, Joe Avisano, special teams. He's got guys that he's got confidence in, and then he even checks in with Ryan, who came from New England, the Super Bowl champs, just to make sure they're doing everything right.
You know, we've talked about different, really terrific play callers in this game. I said Mike Holland, I think, is a terrific one, and he runs that quote-unquote West Coast style of offense. Norv Turner is another one. I mean, you look at the running games that he's been able to develop, but you get a lot of big plays out of the running games, and we've seen it tonight. Other than Peyton Manning, Kerry Collins has thrown more 20-yard passes than anybody in this league.
Well, the thing about Norv Turner is when you sit down and you talk to him, you can see the passion. And we know we do that with Gruden. But Norv Turner is one of those guys that is really smart. I mean, he knows his offense. He is a smart coach.
And he grew up 20 miles from here.
Right.
I mean, this is a dream come true for him. He's coaching at home.
Wherever he's been, he's always had a very close relationship with his quarterback. Troy Aikman, for example. Brad Johnson, for example.
Jay Fiedler down in Miami.
Right.
They're going for it on 4th down, and they're in their own territory, Tampa.
They need about 1.5 yards. Johnson lobs it outside, and they have it. Dave Moore made the reception.
The score is 30-12, and you're 18 down. But you just gotta love. I mean, you have to go for it. Every series is 4-down situations because you're inside 8.5 minutes.
You had to go for it.
Yes. But I kind of like the call.